Welcome. Welcome back after a really long time. Um Hopefully I'm live. Let me check my audio. Not bad. I mean, it does seem to be audible at the maximum volume. I really need to tweak my mic settings, but that's for another day. It's been quite some time since I last went live. Last time I went live was 1 month ago. And after that, I didn't go live. Although, one moment. Okay, when was the last time I went on a Leetcode live stream? It was 9th April. Hopefully that's mirrored. I mean, that's not mirrored. It was 9th April since I last touched data structures and algorithm. But this time around, I'm here to be more consistent than before. And if you guys can see my... I mean, there's no one here, but hey, lighting's pretty trash. And lighting's pretty trash unless I block the light from behind. Yeah, if I block the light coming from behind, it does look good. There is this new poster that I've added. Camera is on a different side as well. It's on my right. It used to be on my left, and you guys would... Last time it was set up, my restroom door was visible, bed was visible. But this time around, this empty wall is the one at focus. I've added this photo. That's probably the topic for another day. Or in fact, wait, let me just show the photo. This is the poster behind me. It's young Elon Musk, the guy who is controlling the world right now. And it's his college dorm. I think it's taken in 1944. Yes, I've named the file to indicate that. That's what is behind me, up here on the wall. Pretty cool. Reason for his poster is he's someone that I look up to. He's someone that I believe that people are going to talk about 100, 200, maybe 500 years down the line, due to him making extraordinary contributions to move humanity forward, whether be it trying to attempt to make humanity multiplanetary, making electric cars cool again, or doing something like Neuralink and trying to connect humans and computers together through a brain chip. He has been always someone that I look up to, that I have looked up to for a really long time. For, I guess it was 10th or 11th grade when I first came through this guy online, and after that I bought his biography. And yeah, I did print a couple more posters. I will stick it up later. Maybe in the next live stream, you guys would be able to see it. Of course, there is nobody watching me go live, so that's there. Goal of the live stream is to, yes, do Leetcode, of course, but for how long? The time is 3:03 right now, and hopefully I make it to 6:30. So do a 4-hour live stream. I'm sorry, 3 hour live stream, and 3.5 hours, hopefully, of deep work. Not much talking, though. All right, let's get started. So I bought this guy's course, TUF Plus. If you guys remember, we were going through yeah, that's better. If you guys remember, we were going through his free sheet online, SD sheet online, and I decided to get this course. Really fantastic looking UI. It's got data structures and algorithms course end to end, A to Z. It's got premium problems with company tags. Basically, has problems category wise, like questions from Amazon, questions from Meta, questions from Google, so on and so forth. It's got observation sheets. It's got low-level design, object-oriented programming, computer networks, DBMS, and operating software system as well. So not as dense as DSA, but it still have those content. So I can have it. I can be prepared if I go through it. If I sit through this and practice it daily, I would end up in a good place. And this has aptitude as well, logical reasoning, verbal ability, quants, and mock test. So that would help me clear the aptitude rounds. That's pretty much it. One thing that really made me buy this product or get this thing is the personalized roadmaps that you can get. It's there here. And what you can do is you can come here and select the number of days. Say like 120, which I have selected 4 months. And it would just automatically reduce the number of problems and make sure you cover all the topics that you have selected. And make sure you do enough problems so that you have a reasonably good understanding in the topics that you have selected. And it would make sure that you complete it within 120 days or whatever number of days that you have set up. This is what impressed me. And because I do not possess a lot of discipline, to bring myself to those problems, I have decided to get this. And as you guys can see, I'm at day 1. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's get started. I have already gone through, since morning, gone through all these topics, basics of programming languages and few problems. And what I want to focus on in this video is try and do 11 problems in 3 hours. 50% of pattern problems that this guy has. And this is the very first topic, right? And I've got long way to go, really long way to go. And the estimated time that would take me to complete all the topics is middle of October, which hopefully would be fine because my placements campus drive would start from the end of October. Hopefully. I mean, it would start from July or August. But it would, I guess if I don't plan to stop data structures and algorithms in just 4 months, with just 4 months of practice, I do plan to, make it a point, make it a habit, so that inevitably, if I keep practicing daily, I would get a good job and whatnot. So I'm going to start today from day 1, starting from the beginning, and I'm just going to practice daily. Even if I miss a couple of days live streaming it, I will be practicing it and make sure I get the practice, and practice even after 120 days has passed, and keep practicing until maybe end of next May, which is when I graduate. So that's about 11 months of practice. Yeah, 11 months of practice end to end. And maybe I would take the habit beyond that as well. That's pretty much it. But what I hope to achieve in this 120 days is just be consistent and cover all the topics. And after the 120 days is over, we can just focus on specific topics like strings or maybe more of binary trees and whatnot. We can really delve deep into whatever is our weak point or whatever is the highest leverage topic that we want to solve. So without any further ado, let's get started. I don't know how well you guys can see the screen. Again, what I want to achieve is, before the end of the stream, is go over 11 pattern problems, at least all the 11. And yeah, let's get started. I have my notebook here as well. So I can visualize the problem, maybe work it out by hand And because if you do it by hand, you retain the information more. So, yup, let's get started. Hope everything is visible. Maybe it would be a good idea to move my webcam to the other side. Maybe to the middle. I don't know how good this looks, but hey. Not bad. Alright, problem number 1. Given an integer n, you need to recreate the pattern given below for any value n. Say n equal to 5, pattern would look like this. Print the pattern in the function given to you. N equal to 4, it would be 4 by 4. N equal to 5, it's 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And n equal to 2 is 2 rows and 2 per row. Alright, yeah. So there is a certain way to do, there is a hack to do pattern problems. It's basically you need to first figure out the number of lines that we need to print, because usually pattern problems revolves around using 2 for loops to get the job done. So first is the outer for loop, which usually denotes the number of lines that we need to print. For example, here it is n. So whatever n we have, we need to make a for loop so that it iterates from 1 to that number. And then the inner for loop itself must be whatever we need to print per line. So let's get started. I think this seems really rudimentary, because if n equal to 5 and we have 5 rows, and if n equal to 4 and we need to print 4, and if it's 2 we need to print 2, it means the number of rows is equal to n itself. So let's create a for loop ranging from 1 to that number, incremented by 1, because for loop goes from start to stop minus 1 or end minus 1. So if it's n plus 1, for loop will end at n. So that would go from, say if it's n equal to 4, it would go from 1, 2, 3, 4 and stop. End value equal to 5. And then for the inner for loop, it's for j in range 1 to the same number. Yes, 1 to the same, 1 to n, it should print. So print star asterisk. So this would print 4 star for the first row, but it would continue to print the stars in the same row. So I need to create a empty line after this. So after one loop is over, after one line is printed, I create a new line. This should work. Very interesting. What's the answer? Oh, flip. No mind. Okay, so it says wrong answer here. Alright, so print in Python itself adds a new line at the end of it after it gets executed. So we need to tell it to not add an end new line character after every statement. This should work. Does work. Fantastic. One problem down. I think it would be cool. Okay, hit submit. Does work. Advanced analysis. Time complexity is O(n) square because due to the nested loop, each iterating n times. All right. Now that's done. Problem number 2. All right. Given an integer n, you need to recreate the pattern given below. Sure, if n is equal to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines, and if n is equal to 4, it's 4 lines. So outer loop should obviously go from 1 to n. Now how does the inner loop work? So every line, the number of stars to be printed is equal to the line number that we are in. So I would have something like for I in range 1 to n plus 1, I would have something like j ranging from 1 to I plus 1. So for the first iteration, I would be 1, and this would be 1 comma 2, so 1 star would be printed. For second iteration, I would be 2, it would be 1 comma 3, so 2 stars would be printed, so on and so forth. Hopefully this is the answer. And similar to the last question, after printing the star, we need to tell it to not go to the next line, and after every line is over, we need to create a new line. Running it. Booyah, it works. Submit. It really does release dopamine, right? Finally 3% of the way there. What's the time complexity? It'll be the same. It'll be O(n) square again, because outer loop iterates n times, and the inner loop iterates up to j times, with j ranging from 1 to n. Next problem. We have about 970 coins. This guy's gamified the website as well. Given an integer n, recreate the pattern. Same. For n equal to 5, it's 5 lines. N equal to 4, it's 4 lines. N equal to 2, it's 2 lines. But this time around, we need to sprint the number starting from 1 up to the line number. So for I in range 1 comma n plus 1, inner loop should be for j in range 1 comma, it's the same thing as the last one, right? 1 comma I plus 1. But this time around, instead of printing the star, we need to print j. Because for the first iteration, it would go like 1 second, it would be, this would be 1 comma 3. So 1 and 2 will be printed. Third iteration, this would be 4. And this would be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Same thing as usual, we need to tell it to not add a new line after every print statement, and instead only print when everything is over. Accepted. Yo, we are going faster than I predicted. Nice. Let me not jinx it. Same time complexity, I assume, n square. Third problem is done. Our coins have exceeded 1,000. Nice. UI looks pretty good. Gotta give it to him. Same thing. Outer loop. Prints for 5 times. If n is equal to 4, it's printing 4 lines. N is equal to 2, it's printing 2 lines. But this time around, the numbers are the line numbers itself. So it doesn't go like 1 comma 2. It just prints the line number. So which means I just need to print the outer loop. Whatever value the outer loop has, I need to print it as many times the line number it is in. So for I in range 1 comma n plus 1, for j in range again 1 comma n plus 1, no 1 comma I plus 1, yeah, and then print I comma end equals this. Syntax error. Done. Got n square time complexity. Recreate the pattern for n equal to 5. Kitna lines? 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. N equal to 4, 4 lines. N equal to 2 lines. Okay, this is pretty good. Outer loop definitely ranges from 1 to n plus 1. Coming to the inner loop, however, it is the opposite. So we need to figure out how can I arrive at this, the first line. So with star, 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 so how can I arrive at this number in my second for loop? So how can I arrive at this? So this is n itself I equal to 4. So n is 4. And if we subtract I, it would be 3. But we need one more star. Because this is the formula. So even here it's n minus 3 plus 1. N minus so that's how it goes. So it goes from 1 to n plus 1 minus I. Before executing, however, it is for the first iteration I equal to 1, it would go from, oh, never mind. So for the first iteration, it goes like I equal to 1, j would be 1, and it would go from 4 plus 1 minus 1, so 3. Is that true? 4 plus 1, which is 5, minus 1, 4. So 1, 2, 3 would be printed. No, we need 2. We need to make it 2 because you're starting from first index, not 0th index. Syntax error. Although I will mark this problem out for revision. Pretty good problem. Guessing the same time complexity. Oh. Bug. Right, 4 problems done. 5 problems done. Marked it for revision. Just going to the next one. Given an integer n, you need to recreate the pattern given below for any value of n. Let's say n equal to 5. Exactly the same as the last problem, but this time around we are doing it with numbers. So we are printing j. So let's visualize it. So j's value should start from 1, and then it should stop at n plus 1 minus I, same as last one. So n plus 1 is 5 minus I, it is 5 minus I, which is 4. But I should write n plus 2 minus I because stop value minus 1. So for I in range, one to n plus 2 minus I. So it would go from 1 comma 1 to n plus 1 minus I. And then I need to print it. Print what? Print j, not I, because I remains the same every step. Now this should work. Now what would happen if I have comment statements and I submit it? What would the advanced analysis show? Specifically O into n star. N star into n plus 1 by 2. Why n star into n plus 1 by 2? Alright, time complexity for another day. Five lines. But this time around, I need spaces. Very intuitive. Okay, this is good. How would I know how many spaces to print though? So space is equal to okay, so I don't need to care about the spaces that come after the asterisk. So here the space is 3. And the number of spaces here is 2. And the number of space here is 1. So the number of spaces, I think it's obvious from the observation. The number of spaces is equal to n minus 1 for the beginning. Number of spaces is n inner loop, it's outer loop, it's for sure for I in range 1 to n plus 1. Okay, this is pretty good. Let me get my notebook out. Hopefully try to figure it out. I have a solution in mind that I will try to code, but I don't think that's how it's supposed to be done. I have figured out the formula for spaces, which would actually should be n minus I, because if I is the line number, so if n is equal to 2 here, because two lines, 2 minus 1 would give me the spaces for the first one, and 2 minus 2 would give me the spaces for the second line, which is 0. Here n is equal to 3. So 3 minus I, which is 3 minus 1, which should give me the spaces here, which is 2, and 3 minus and sorry, and 3 minus I, which is 2 here, would give me the spaces here, and so on and so forth. So for j in 5 more minutes and then I'm gonna look at the solution. Alright, I guess that is the first quote unquote defeat of the series, because you can never learn until maybe I can give myself hints. Okay. Maybe instead of, yeah. Oh, fuck, bro. I don't, I never wanted you to give me this, but yeah. 2 into I plus 1 minus 1. So, 2 into I oh, well. Isn't that the odd number series? So, 2 into n plus 1. Wow, that is the odd number series. So if n is equal to 1, it is 3 minus 1. Wait, what? So 2 into I would be for each row I equal to 1 here. So I into 2, which is 2 minus 1. So this is second. So 4 minus 1, 3. So what is the fourth number? It would be very interesting. So now I know the stars, number of stars is 2 times I minus 1. Okay, so how do I do this? So for the first iteration, it is 3 spaces. Ah, screw this one. What? Okay, this should be incremented. So it should print. Ah, this is painful problem. Really painful problem. Definitely should revise this later. 100%. And I should also get used to failing and looking at the solutions. Because that's how you learn, right? You can't just try to create the dexterous algorithm by yourself, or the BFS and DFS by yourself, or the cadence algorithm by yourself. You need to strike a right balance between memorizing and learning, and memorizing and figuring out by yourself. Because at one point, memorizing and understanding sort of gets blurred. I mean, how would you know whether the person has memorized it, and how would you know whether he has understood it? Answer is, try within a time limit, within a time bound. And if you cannot find the answer within the time bound, say for 15 minutes or half an hour, just go ahead and get hints, and maybe get hints, and maybe just directly look. And if even if after that, if you cannot solve the problem, even after looking at the hints, look at the problem solution, understand it, revisit it the next day, and do a spaced repetition. Boom, now you have understood it as well as memorized it. It's pretty good. All right, now on to the next question. Not gonna go for time complexity, but I will look at the solution. Very interesting. This guy is used only. Oh, no mind. Oh. Maybe I should start using 0 instead of 1. Yeah, he is using 0 for in the editorials. No mind, he frequently switches. But yeah, that's the point. 0 if I just want to directly know where it ends. Not bad. What's the time complexity? O n square. Nope. Don't. It's too much for today. So I would probably do TC for the completed problems later. Maybe off camera. Wow, what a problem, man. We have 4 more problems. 2 hours to go. 2 hours until I stop the stream. Let's see. This is basically the reverse of the last problem. So for I in range, let's see if I can do it off the top of my head. 0 to n. So it go from this moves our line. Oh well, pretty good problem. Once again, use pen and paper. Definitely the outer loop runs for n. So 4 lines would go from one line to another to the next. Number of spaces is not n minus I anymore. Oh wow, so this is a completely different problem. Oof. This is a completely different problem. Oof. Right. Alright. Oops. Think this time around I figured it out faster. 1, 2, 3. Y equal to 1. And then I equal to 2. I equals 3. I equals 4. The number of stars is equal to 2 times I. So which is 2 times 4, which would be 6 plus 1. Here, number of stars is the number of spaces is 2 times I minus 2. So 2 times 2, which is 4. 4 minus 2. Really? Let me do it on a pen and paper first. Agreed, man. I've been trying to figure this out for a while. Last problem took like 20-25 minutes, even more, I would say. And then I used the help of ChatGPT to give me hints and then solved it. Right. Number of spaces is 0. The first line, second line is 1. Third line is 2. Fourth line is 3. Sort of goes on a descending order. So something like n plus n minus I. So 4 plus 4 minus 1, which is 3, which is 7. Oh, I figured out the star, I guess. And for the second one, it would be 4 plus 4 minus 2. 4 plus 4 minus 2, which is 4 plus 2. Okay. Okay, I accidentally found the number of stars. Formula for the number of stars. Interesting. So stars is equal to 2 into n minus 1 plus 1. Spaces. I still need to find spaces. So doing this would give me like this without any spaces. Now I need to move everything back to the perfect place. Minus 1 for spaces or stars. So the first row it would be 2 into 4 minus 1 plus 1. So 2 into 3, which is 6. 6 plus 1, 7. So 7 stars. Second row it would be 2 into n minus 1. So 2 into 4. 2 into n minus I. So 2 into 4 minus 2 plus 1. So 2 into 2, 4 plus 1, 5. So number of stars is 5. I think it's this one. 2 into n minus 1 for stars. Spaces on the other hand. Okay. Yeah, zero based indexing. Basis for the first iteration is 0, second iteration is I minus 1. Third iteration is, I guess basis it's if I equal to, well, spaces from the second iteration, the formula is I minus 1. Oh, wait, just stupid. Oh yeah, it's just, Let for I in range 0 to n, 4 lines. Next for j in range 0 to 2 star n minus I plus 1. Print stars. But is this correct? So for the first iteration it would be 4 minus 0 plus 1. Okay. Entire thing plus 1. Now for spaces, it should be for j in range 0 to I. So 0 to 0 and then 0 to 1, it would print one space, yeah. Be faster than last time. God. Hopefully that works. Doesn't work, but looks like it does. We're almost right. No, it is not. Oh, spaces are right. I'm so brain dead right now. Oh. What the fuck? Spaces work perfectly. Then comes here. And 2 into 4 minus 0. Finally. I don't even know how I solve this. Oh. Marking for revision. Are you there? Yo, I'm gonna call it a day, bro. I'm just gonna revise whatever I've done till now. I've made this LeetCode tracker. I think it's pretty good. So all these are sample entries. So I need to update it for the day. All these are sample entries. So basically how it works is after every problem that I do, I'll just write the question, link it here, and skip all of this. And then I'll just rate it. And then I'll write the date on which I solve the problem. So for example, 2sum, if I solved it on June 11th, I would give myself a rating depending on how well I have done it. If it was extremely hard, I would give it as 1, which means I need to repeat it after a day. If it's extremely easy, I would give it a rating 5, which means I would revise it after 5 days. Revise as in solve it again, not just look at it, but just walk through it at least mentally again. So I think over time, all the rating would become 5, meaning I've understood the problem extremely well. And if a problem stays at rating 5 more than twice, I'd slowly increase the rating. So like something like 15. So I would revise after 15 days. So the next revision date would be 26th. It's pretty cool. I'll share this with you. Pretty cool for revision. That's pretty much it. Yeah, that's it. Revise, that's it. Revise, update the Notion dashboard, and that's it, man.